Okay. Good evening from the UK.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Berryman here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Conversation for Humanity here on Wonderful Wednesday. Our special guest today will be none other than the founder and host of Middle Ground with JLE. Jeffrey Edwards is here to come share his story. In fact, he is so moved by it. He's on the move, as you can see. So he is going to share his story today with each and every single one of you. So we're just so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you here today. And again, welcome to the Bringing Humanity Together live stream. This is one of three open forums under the Bringing Humanity Together umbrella, where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues are out there that are facing people today, because it's our goal, our mission, our passion, our purpose, and I dare say our calling here at Bringing Humanity Together to create environments that people will love, not only in those workplaces, but also in those very communities. And as always, we'll be going live every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Our LinkedIn community call will always be on LinkedIn. Audio on Fridays. So catch that, and that will be at 3 p.m. And then other community call will be on Mondays via Google Meet at 3 p.m. If you'd like to find out the details for that, please send me a message, and we'll get you the details straight away and everything like that. I'll be posting the event for the community call on Friday a little bit later on tonight. And everything. And as always, we'll be going live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all at 2:45 Eastern Daylight Time. So if you want to come share your story on Conversation for Humanity, please message me, and we'll get you on the call in a future broadcast. So off to you, Jeffrey. How are you doing today on Wonderful Wednesday?
I'm doing good in Metro Detroit with tornado watch. Nice rain coming down.
All right, very good, very good. And I know Barry's here across the pond in jolly old England, so he is here with us today. So we're just so humbled and honored that each and every single one of you are here with us today, and everything. So looking forward to it in and of itself. So we are going to start this bad boy here off in just a few minutes, because this is our meet and greet session. So we're going to get people from all around the world to join us here in just a little bit and everything like that. But again, Jeffrey, thank you so much for come sharing your story on Conversation for Humanity here, powered by Bringing Humanity Together. And we're just so humbled and honored by that. So is the weather going to look better for the rest of the week?
Um, it's Michigan. We get all seasons in a week, man.
Wow, wow. So how long has it been
Hopefully it's
raining?
better. Off and on today and most of the week. But just take your
Wow,
time,
that's
give the guy
something.
and keep moving. It'll be all right in a little bit.
Wow. We need a little rain because it's starting to get really hot here in Florida. In fact, the high yesterday was close to like 93, and that's not counting that heat index either.
Oh yeah, it get hot down there.
Yes, it does. That it does. So, well, like I said, we're going to be starting this bad boy off here in just a couple of minutes. Barry, how you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. You're just gonna have to excuse me if you see a fork go up to my mouth. It's because I'm just tucking into my kebab and a few chips. I've been busy today, and it's the only time I could get to eat. And I said I'd come on. If it's too awkward, I'll switch it off and I'll just listen.
Well, you need some
I
fish and chips
appreciate that.
today?
No, this is a kebab
Oh,
from
nice.
the local. We've got a nice local van that comes round and does nice doner kebab and fries, and that's
Nice.
about $8, $9 for kebab and chips, and it's enough. It'll
Wow.
tie me over anyway.
That's amazing.
But we are more expensive for food in the UK than you guys.
Right.
And a lot of our products and services are more expensive than America.
That they are. That they are. But I do love a good fish and chips, though.
Oh yeah. I don't know how mega popular it has become in America with fish and chips, but you've got one of our best chefs, Gordon Ramsay, infiltrating America now and has got various restaurants and outlets in America. Gordon Ramsay's name.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Worth looking
In
out
fact,
for because his food is amazing.
All right. Very good. Very good.
Yep. What's the topic tonight?
Well, there's no topic. Jeffrey is going to come share his story with us on Conversation for Humanity today. So that's what's going to be going on today.
Excellent.
So,
Look forward to it. Go from the top.
Yeah. We're going to start here in just a minute. Like I said, we're just in our meet and greet session right now, Barry. So we're going to get some more people to come in here in just a second and everything. So we're going to get started here in just a few minutes and everything like that. But like I said, I'm just so humbled and honored that, like I said, Jeffrey can be able to share his story with us today. Because, like I said, when me and him talked together a number of weeks ago, I just felt compelled and said, "Hey, Jeffrey, I would love for you to share your story on Conversation for Humanity." And he said yes, and that's why he's here. So I'm so looking forward to it and everything like that. So it's going to be one great
Mr.
conversation.
Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
Mr. Edwards, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Was you something to do with the Top Gun music and Harold Faltermeyer?
No, I had nothing to do with that.
No. He probably doesn't even know Harold Faltermeyer.
That must be another Jeff. That must be another Jeffrey Edwards because that's that name comes up in Top Gear, Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was to do with the music. Harold Faltermeyer was the MD, etc., and music producer for the Top Gun theme and soundtrack. But
I ain't hit that level yet.
I just thought your name looked familiar, and as you're a musician, what sort of music do you do, Jeffrey?
Positive fusion of R&B, gospel, jazz.
Yeah, what sort of music do you do, Jeffrey?
It's a fusion of R&B, jazz, classical, hip hop,
excellent.
Rock, pop.
That's
all
great.
Positive.
That's great. And is that for churches? And
no,
do you do that for churches, or do you do that for local radio, or?
For anybody to listen to it.
Okay. And you do gigs and sell out tours? Yeah, you
that
do
I haven't
gigs
done
and
yet.
sell out tours and stuff like that, or was it more of a hobby thing?
That's the goal. No, that's the goal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Jeffrey's going to tell you all about that.
I'm just getting a feeling of where you are, that's all.
Yeah, he's going to share all that with you, Barry, here in just a little bit and everything like that. So no worries there.
No worries.
Jeffrey, we're getting ready to come on top of the hour here and everything like that. So we're going to get some more people to come in here, but I'll let you have the floor. So, Jeffrey, come share your story with us on Conversation for Humanity, sir.
Okay. My name is Jeffrey L. Edwards, author, musician, CEO, and host, Middle Ground with J.O.Lee podcast. Podcast where I've interviewed people of all career fields to help others find their purpose. Have God put me on back in March of 21. And I'm in season 10 now, and I have branched off to do multiple other shows to give an educate, entertain aspect to get everybody to come to my brand. I published 2 books. from my hashtag musician thoughts inspirational book series. The first book being Inspiration, Keep Working, Keep Grinding, Keep Praying to Achieve Your Goals. In the second book, you have missed the mark, but you can find it again. And I released two albums, The JLE Experience, JLE World, positive music fused with all genres, because I love all of them. But banging beats come from Detroit. So I can give you something to ride to. And I'm trying to utilize all my gifts to get to my entrepreneur side of doing my nonprofit to help others at some point.
All
I
right.
started, okay,
So Jeffrey, the
yes.
question then becomes, and that's an amazing accomplishment of what you all have created and what you have done, Jeffrey. But I got to ask you, how did all that start? How did that look like? And what was maybe the epiphany moment for you to said, hey, this is what I should build and this is what maybe it should look like? How did that all start for you?
The podcast or the music?
Everything.
Well, the music goes back to the night my father died, January 6, 1991. I was playing the Friends a whining song, and just back we had the tape deck, you just stop it and rewind to ease the pain of that loss. And from that moment, I felt I want to make music to help people deal with whatever they might encounter. So I started writing my first song in the eighth grade
Okay.
called Our Love. It was front and
Hmm.
back. You couldn't tell me I wasn't babyface because that was my role model who I wanted to be like. And I just kept working at it over the years to where by 11th grade, I was always in class, get an idea, I write a song. I had never gotten to recording nothing, but I was still trying to find that voice. Because during that time period, I started realizing my father wouldn't see me graduate. So drinking, smoking weed, try to not think about it, didn't really help. Disclaimer for anybody, get help, pastor, mentor, someone, therapist. Drugs, alcohol ain't the way to go to deal with your problems.
No.
Don't do nothing.
Just
All right.
mask
And
it.
yeah, it just masks it. And from there, God always got to be transparent for some reason. I had a moment of tipsy suicide, but God works with where you are. Tupac was one of my biggest fans. I was one of his biggest fans, so God would have me play his Me Against the World album and not do it. After a week, I didn't try it anymore. I just go play music. And as I kept working on music, I knew I was creative, but I didn't know how to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I graduated and started going to Wayne State University. I was in a DAPSET program in middle school, so figured be an engineer. But me and math wasn't working out. So I switched to music management, like, well, you're doing music, learn more about the business, and I did. That's why I met my first producer, Lauren, and started recording music to record my first album. He wound up moving out of state or the country, so I stopped doing it. Then along the road, I dropped out because work, school got hectic. So I dropped out in '08. I'm just working and realized that's not the life for me just to do a 9 to 5. I went back in 2013. I switched to business management. I went to Mike Iller School of Business, and I just grind nonstop from 2013 to 2020. I graduated, and that's when the journey really took off. Because during that summer of 2020, I had started my podcast because with COVID, we all was sitting at home.
Right.
Hmm.
But after I graduated, I stopped doing it so I could try to find a job. Got depressed for a minute because I just knew I get a job in 2 seconds, but what God got for you is for you, and it takes time.
For
So
sure.
by March 21st, my boy mom has a gospel show, and I saw she used Anchor, and I researched what it was and found out it was a app that you can do a podcast for free. You ain't got to look at nobody. And me being an introvert, extrovert, like that's cool. I ain't got to look at nobody. Let me get back to my podcast and see where I can take it. Now,
Excellent.
in in doing that, I had posted when I got my degree on LinkedIn a video encouraging anybody you can do what I did, be the hardest work in the room. And it led
Mm-hmm.
to like 3,000 views. And my first guest, Chris Platoon, that I met, said I was a role model inspiring others in the Detroit area. I'm like, wow, that really made me look at people watch what you do like your parents would tell you.
Hell yeah.
So as I kept doing my show, I interviewed him first.
Wow.
And that experience, because he wrote a book, the 10 Thriving Life Principle was a great book about his story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, let's do this. He started plugging me to more authors in the metro area. My second guest, Major Shepherd L. He got out of jail, changed his life, made an awesome book about it. That should be a movie. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I didn't really think about interviewing people, but now I'm in this space, so let me learn to be better at it. So then I will research other people doing podcasting type shows to see how they
Mm-hmm.
interview.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, I interviewed Chris and Major at the same time, like a state of authors type deal. And that's when they put it in my ear, where's your book? And I had wrote a book like in 2000, what if I became a Super Bowl winning defensive player and had an engineering company? But I kept getting the virus, so I said, screw it, it ain't gonna work. And they're like, nah, you got a book you need to write. I'm like, I ain't got no book. What you talking about? But then that's when God get on your head, God get on your head. I'm kind of stubborn at times. So he told me to, yeah, I ain't quick to say I'm gonna do it. I'm like, nah, man. Cause you already got me talking to people I don't know, like this so uncomfortable. I don't know. But you gotta be obedient. So when I wrote the first book based on my journey to get my degree, he said, B, your journey would be transparent about you. Like, well, time out, man. That's people in my business. What you talk about being transparent? I ain't trying to do all that. I post daily quotes every day that help people, encourage them. That's good. Yeah, put some of them in this book and talk about your journey and talk about all of it. Like, okay, I can talk about drinking, smoking weed, and ain't nothing. Talk about all of it. And I'm like, he talking about the attempt suicide. I ain't putting that in no book. No, man. Gone with that guy. Man, that's forever, ever. That's in a book. I can talk about it in a song. That's 2 seconds. People gonna see that forever. Nah, I ain't doing it. But like I said, God gonna get on your head. You gotta do what He supposed to told you to do. So I put it in there, and I didn't. I wrote the book July of 21 in less than 2 weeks. I ain't publishing this book. No, I ain't doing it. And it sat on my laptop. September came. I say, God gonna get on your head to be obedient. And I was up to pay my bills, and I felt a lean on my shoulder, like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
you need to publish this book. Get on Amazon, KDP, and figure it out. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, you
You can
go.
get out the mud, you will figure it out. So I be obedient. I did it, and I just felt vulnerable, like, oh man, people gonna read that, they're gonna know about my past. And I've been engaging the guy on Instagram that stays in the UK because my post
Mm-hmm.
would encourage him. He
Mm-hmm.
bought the book, and he had told me it gave him a reason to keep going, and that just put me in like, wow.
That just aligns you to your public, mate.
I'm like, that's why I had to write this book if it was only for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you gotta be obedient now. You can't be stubborn like that. Do what he tell you to do. And then I wrote my second book about my separation. If you help somebody keep going. I'm still learning more about the podcasting game. I wound up interviewing the small business cheerleader Tisha Hammond. And after a great interview we had with her, she mentioned she knew a lot of people that would be good for my show. I thought she was being nice, but she didn't know people. And she just kept giving me a list of people. So I already had to get comfortable reaching out to strangers. Because God
Yeah.
was like, you can't be in you out of your little cubby hole. We done with that. You got to be out here. And in that process, the show kept growing. Now I didn't know if they had a calendar app back then. So I used to double book a lot and might do 3 or 4 shows a day. And that's how I got to season 10 so quick. but I was putting the work in. I'm a firm believer. If you got a plan and a task, get after it and see it all the way through. And this journey has been very humbling and amazing of what I'm doing and people I'm inspiring that tell me they see what I'm doing. Like, wow, I ain't never expected to be on this journey.
Why not? Why didn't you think you was allowed to be on that journey?
Well, my only thought process was I want to make music, travel the world, help people that way. That was it. I didn't think about writing books again or even podcasting.
Yeah, but isn't that wonderful that you had those two opportunities just pop out of that?
Yeah. God will make a way for you, even in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it'd be what it is now, or the people I've connected with and networked with that are awesome people. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And I don't always enjoy the journey because I be tunnel vision trying to do the work. So I'm definitely learning to find the balance to notice you are doing some cool stuff.
Definitely. And out of growth, Jeff, growth comes from pain. If you're doing it all nice and easy and everything's running too smoothly, you're not going to have the growth. If you're suffering because you're trying to reach out to others and do this, you're going to grow because you're going through the pain. And it's in the pain areas that you grow, not in the nice rosy gardens and everything falls in your lap. And
oh yeah,
getting
out the mud is the story of my life now. A lot of stuff was research, watching other people's stuff to get better. So I came up with the tagline where we treat you like family, because if I'm going to be the Moses and help people find their purpose, so to speak, I need to make people comfortable to share their story on my show. So I asked them a few questions about themselves, but the last question is always, what advice do they have for someone trying to find their purpose? So I want them to be the very most comfortable to give me that Yoda game for that question. Because I need that, like, okay, God said you got to help me find the purpose. I need you to really ponder on it and be chill to do it. So if I got to crack a joke, sing a song, whatever, for you to get comfortable, because some people think, oh, this TMZ is someone, or I don't know where you were 2 in the morning. This ain't that part. I'm just trying to find out what you did is awesome. I want to celebrate you, get you on the platform, and give me that Yoda game for that last question.
And that's amazing, Jeffrey. That's cool. And I truly believe that not only the stories matter, Jeffrey, but maybe those stories can stick. So let's welcome in Carla and James. Hello, Carla. Hello, James.
Hey, hi. How we doing?
How are you doing today?
How you doing?
Hey there, I have a mouthful of food.
What are you eating, Miss Carla?
Pesto.
Nice. That is good. So I know you guys got on here just a little bit ago, but I want to start with you, Carla. What's your thoughts on what Jeffrey has shared about his story?
Me too, real fast, but the thing that spoke to me the most, the thing that I have kind of related to myself is when God puts it on your head, that's a nudge. And we always have to realize that life isn't easy. Doing what you want to do and being passionate about it is not easy. But when you're God or higher power or whatever you want to call it, your source or whatever, when it speaks to you, you need to be listening. It's like E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Right?
True.
That is so true.
So many people are so afraid to take that extra step make that first step because they don't know about, well, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like something I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. And it's like, if somebody gives you a great opportunity, you say yes and figure it out how to do it along the way.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. What say you, James?
Well, I'm going to be honest. On Wacky Weather Wednesday, to enlighten others, you have to enlighten yourself first. You know, to speak the truth is to know, is to have knowledge. And if you don't speak the truth about what it is you believe, or, you know, God, deity, whatever you want to call them, you know, if you don't speak the truth about what you know, about what you truly know, then you're going to stay stuck in the same spot you've been in for the last, what, 40, 50 years? You know, you have to be the one to take the bull by the horns and swing him a country mile. You know, so that's where I stand on that.
So Jeffrey, with with all the things that you have done in your life and all the people that have come into your life, do you not just see more opportunities because of those very people that you come in contact with, that you can say, oh, I've interviewed Kimberly, and then next thing you know, that led into maybe me and you getting together and all that kind. Do you see that kind of dynamic playing out, to where one introduction leads into another introduction that leads into, and everything like that? Maybe kind of speak to what really brought you to bring humanity together.
Yes, I did interview Kimberly, and I think she mentioned this, or somehow it got mentioned to me, and I reached out like, okay, I'm about positivity, trying to help people. I can partner with that. I have noticed since I've started this journey, people I've interviewed or worked with, they might come back, or I learned something about the field that can help you. We might have a Zoom about it and add that knowledge to the pack. And yeah, doing the work, I really can't say that. I've heard a lot of preachers say it before. When God tell you to do something and you actually do it, don't worry about when you get to the end of the road of it. He's going to make a way for you to get at each point when you need to know, or who you need to know at that point. So I know some people I've talked with ask like, well, you ain't made money yet. Like, well, God want me to do this. So I know the way I need to do it. I need the bread. He going to make sure that comes. But I need to keep doing the work to make sure that's on point.
Well, see, I love the mindset, and Carla knows this, and so does James, and so does Kimberly, and so many others who are as a part of this. And I probably even mentioned it to you, Jeffrey. I just know bringing humanity together is going to be big, and it's going to be impactful. It's going to be significant, and I take you in the kind of dynamic of, I know it's not a matter of if we get big. It's only a matter of when and who's on board. And I know I'm not in it for the money, number one. But I know that money will come because, see, I'm not relegated by that money, because I just look at money as another form of energy and tool that we use to get the things that we want in our lives. But when we truly see something that is going to be of value to us, and we really take stock in that, and we take it to heart and everything like that, it really turns into, let's say, our passion and our purpose, or maybe even a calling, like I have. I just truly know those things will come down the line in and of itself. And then when we allow that to occur, more opportunities come to pass. It's more in abundance, more in alignment to, like I said, about who you are. And then next thing you know, those things kind of play out on its own. You don't have to really do anything and everything like that. Has that kind of the way you see it too as well?
Absolutely. As long as I keep doing the work and keep growing it, the resources will be there to get to the next step. Because I figure, I don't know how many people my multitude is that I'm supposed to help on this earth before I pass. Because I died at birth for 5 minutes and came back. And I've always thought I didn't come back just to have a regular life.
Right.
I could have stayed in heaven. So he put me back on this planet to help people. So I figure at least I got 1 billion people that I should help before I leave. And he know I'm willing to do it and put the work in. So I know he's going to put the resources when it's right timing
You're
to
an
help
impact.
along with it.
Yeah.
You're
So
a true
let me ask you
empath.
this, Jeffrey. How did you come up with the name Middle Ground with JLE? How did that come to fruition?
That's my personality. I don't have none. after, after I read in the Bible, yay and nay, that's it. Either you suck or you cool. Ain't no in the middle. So middle ground, I'm gonna hear your point of view. That's how I came up with the name.
Oh my
So
word!
make it happen.
Yep,
Right,
Yeah.
that's a
Jeffrey?
true story. What's that?
Make it happen.
Yep. People laugh and I tell them like, yeah, that's my personality. God know the Charlie May. Man, either you cool or you ain't. Ain't no you both. Nah. But we can be
But
in the middle ground with this. Talk about whatever.
what the
Let's do
way
it.
I see it, you, I don't know if you knew it or not when you created it in that way, but to me, a middle ground is a great starting off point to you when you think about it, because like in our event that we had about 4 weeks ago about conversations of curiosity,
Mhm.
those conversations can lead to so many different things, and it can lead into a middle ground to where I meet you where you at, you can meet me where I'm at, and then let's let that space grow and thrive from right there. That it's almost like a lot of people nowadays, and probably it's been this way probably since maybe even the dawn of time, that people have to say, no, you must come to me, I shouldn't have to come to you, and everything like that. And
Mhm.
then when that opportunity knocks and you don't come to me for it, then you lost out on it. But see, I really believe we can have that middle ground, because if we fostered it with enough intention and foster
Mhm.
it with enough understanding and discernment and and knowing who we are. And that's why I truly believe, Jeffrey, the better question to ask is not what you do, what you do, what you do. The better question to ask is, who are you?
For me, I try to be like Jesus in the term. When I look at the work he did, his 32 years on the earth, he hung out with the thugs, the prostitutes, and all the people that was discarded. So if he can hang out with them, I don't mind chopping up with anybody on any level who you are, because I ain't better than you.
Right?
God does not pay his debtors in kindness, Jeffrey.
Mhm.
You know that text. You know that in the Bible, yeah?
Yep, I've
So,
read that before.
yeah. So if you're, if you're good, you're decent, you do all the nice things, then he'll make a place at his table for you.
That's true.
Yep.
So
Ain't
Carla,
no doubt.
what's on your mind right now?
I'm just kind of listening and doing stuff around my house, but
Mhm.
been one of those kind of days. Okay.
That's cool.
I don't know.
You're doing
I got so many different things going through my brain right now. I don't know. I'm just enjoying the conversation. I think that when you're talking about, it's not a matter of what you do, it's who you are. I think that when you're in congruence with what you do and who you are, they're one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yep. In anything, people by people. I would already buy off of Jeffrey because I love his story. I love he's captivated me. He's drawn me in on it. And big up there, fella.
I appreciate that, sir.
No worries.
So Jeffrey, then the question becomes, if you have a middle ground, can we not only reach the high ground, but also go to the low ground? Can we kind of bring it all together?
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, with my brand, I have the mindset that Last Supper Jesus had. It's an infinite table where anybody that want to work with me, part with me, we can all, or who I can help, be at that table, having the life that you desire to have for you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're willing to put the work in.
Yeah.
And then pay it forward to help someone else.
And I love that because, see, I've always been of the belief that we're all sitting at the table of humanity. We're already there. But what keeps us, and I want to start this with you, and I want to go around the room. What do you think, Jeffrey, keeps us in a separator state between us and other people in and of itself? I know it can be multiple things and everything like that, but from your experience, what's one of the few things that you've seen in your life that really has kept you from having that connection with somebody that not only will turn into collaboration, but then also be a part of that community? What's kind of experience for you with that?
I would say we forget two of the simplest commandments in the Bible of fear and love God and love thy neighbor as thyself. When you get past skin color or economic background and all that crap, we
It's
all
good,
bleed
bad,
red.
and
We're all
everyone.
God's kid. So no one's better than no one.
No.
When you want someone to help you, if you needed help, so why can't you if you can help? And
Yeah.
we get away from that thought process because a lot of distractions out here that will have you thinking, nah, you suck because of this and this, but that might be the person God put there to help you get to where you're really trying to go. But you can't see it because you're blinded by all them distractions. So we love our neighbors ourselves truly and want to help our fellow man and woman. You'll go farther.
So I want to take your thoughts on that, Barry. What's your thoughts about what keeps us from a separator kind of dynamic that where we can actually be better connected? What are the things that probably keeps us in that separator state, not in
Well,
a connective
well,
state?
well, if we're all part of a collective, then we're all robots. We're not. We're human beings, and we have the ability to reach out to others. We have the ability to give of our time and our free will to others. It's up to them if they want to take that, but you shouldn't feel disappointed if they don't heed your words or want to learn from you. Yeah.
True.
I love that. Carla, what say you? What keeps us separated from connecting with others? What shows up for you in your experience?
What shows up for me is the fact that people are self-centered and they're so consumed with themselves and what they're doing and what they stand for, and it's all about me, that they're not giving and aware of the world around them and giving to other people.
But economy and governments force you into that realm.
If you choose to be forced into, if you choose to be forced into that realm,
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't have, if you don't have the monetary
Barry,
value to that,
I'm going to have to counteract with you on that because here's why.
go on.
No government has control over me.
Correct.
No institution has control over me.
Unless
I
you're in
keep
an
myself
institution.
free because I am free by literally by God's source, however you want to call it. Because if I put myself in the prison of the mind and keep myself there, where I'm always going to be kept at, in that prison of the mind.
Yeah, but you can't live outside your own mind, Chris.
Let me finish. No government, no institution, no business, no nothing is going to keep me from being free of who I choose to be and want to be. And I believe we all have that capability of doing that, no matter if a government tells you to do this or says you don't have these freedoms, this, that, and the other. They can, to be honest with you, Barry, they can take everything from me. You know what? I'll still be free. I don't care if I have money or not. I don't care if I have a house or not. I don't even care if I have a car or whatever. Because I deem myself free no matter where I'm at in life. It doesn't really matter.
So you have to put a value on certain material things. You're living in a house. I'm in a house. Jeff's in his car at the moment. Carla's in her house. That all is either stemmed from hard work for you to buy a house.
That it does. But see,
go on.
But Barry, that doesn't define us, does it? who we
No,
stand
so
for
what?
and what we're
Okay,
about.
so a
defines
better
us, not
question.
the
A
material
better
things,
question.
though.
A better question then, Chris. What does define us? Is it A, our history, B, our past, family past connections, etc., or is it C, our future, which we control, which we design, but you can learn from the past, you can learn from your culture, you can learn from your family. That's down to you whether you want to put those things in play or you just stay an autonomous individual following the rules and regulations of everything
Well,
else
here's my
has
answer to
to
that,
do to
Barry. Here's
live.
my answer, and I'd like to get Jeffrey's take on that, and then we'll go to Carla. My take
Mhm.
is on that is I embrace it all, and here's why. Because everything happens for a reason in life. Everything happens for us and not to us. Because if
Yes.
we let life happen to us every single day, we either get to that point in our lives that we play the victim card. Oh, woe is me. I
Yeah.
can't do this. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough music skills. I can't do a podcast. I can't do this. I can't do that. We keep ourselves in that place each
Take the
and
T
every
off.
single day.
Take the T off
And-
of can't and turn it into try.
Well, and like I said, Barry, I truly believe, like I said, if we encompass all of that and everything like that, that would give us a better, clearer vision of who we want to turn ourselves into becoming, because it starts with us and us alone. But also, when you think about it, Barry, more often than not, there's two people who are getting away from becoming our best versions of ourselves. It's number one, us. We sometimes do it to ourselves, whether it be unconsciously or even consciously, because we get to that point. Hey, we're not worthy enough. We don't have enough knowledge. We don't have the business acumen to do this, that, and the other. Or we allow others to literally dictate that to us to such a degree that we literally leap right that into that reality, thinking that's where we should be. Because see, what happens is when others do that to us, that they think that that's our reality, thinking that that is what's there for us, when in fact it's not. It's their perception thereof and everything.
That's their control of you within the constraints of what
Well,
their
whatever you want to call
criteria
it,
is.
it doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to call it. So, Jeffrey, I want to go to you. What's your thoughts on that?
All those components he mentioned, for example, but for me, the action you take will be the one that starts to define you. Because you can't go by, you can't do ABC because these are rules, regulations, the government, whoever put out there, and you follow that. Or, as you were saying yourself, no matter what happened, I'm free anyway. But it's still going to come down to what action you take. And from that point, that's going to start setting your path and what's being shown to the world by what, and going to that point to get to your future.
What's your take on that, Carla?
She's muted. She's either hoovering.
Sorry. No. Of course he caught me as I was walking out into the garage.
I'm always doing something.
I know.
It's all good.
I'll leave it at this. I refuse to be controlled by anyone. Just ask my husband.
Oh, you didn't want to go there on that subject.
Yeah. Hey, I told him 18 years ago I could choose to have him in my life or not. So, I just, I mean, you got rules that you have to follow, and yes, money pays the bills, but when it comes down to it, the house I'm in does not define me. The car that I drive does not define me. It's
funny.
just.
It's funny that people will look upon you like that because you drive.
I don't care.
I
don't care. Yeah, I don't care how they look at me.
Well, that's materialistic of them, then, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's if that's the way they want to look at life, they can look at life. I mean,
we can't look. Go on. We can't look through life through rose-spected spectacles all the time, because life isn't like. Life will hit you so hard, you either get up and keep moving forward, or you sit where you lay.
Yeah. Well, for example, I had a episode in my life where I ended up moving because of the situation that had happened. Yeah, there were memories in the house, but at that point, when I knew that those memories couldn't continue, they became four walls. They just became four walls. They lost their meaning. And, my house does not define me. The car that I drive does not define me. The money I make doing what I love does not define me. My investments does not define me. What defines me is what I do and what I give to the world. That's who I am. The rest is just,
superficial.
Superficial. I mean, yes, you need income because you need to pay bills and you need to save for your future and all that kind of stuff. But you can't take it with you when you die. You
only got one go on this earth, so you might as well enjoy it while you're here.
Like, what are you gonna? You have two certain dates in your life: your birth and your death. What are you doing with the dash on your epitaph?
Well, I've kind of been reborn in so much as where my mental health and challenges put me to the point where I nearly took my own life. And if it wasn't for one person saying to me, I want you to do this specific thing, and my life changed after saying, come on to the all who are heavily and laden, I will give you rest. And the next day I woke up, I was a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a rebirth in my book.
Yeah.
And I had to relearn all that again in 2 or 3 years while I was getting better. And as I was getting better, I lost my dad to cancer. Do I think God existed at that time? No, I bloody didn't. Because I thought, if you're going to keep paining me and pushing me and squashing me, you can go to fucking hell. Because I'll make my own way in life. That's how it got me. But I chose to do what that lay preacher told me to do. And now I have a different sense. My faith has always been there. It's been challenged. By God, has it been challenged on several occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to cling to not necessarily false hopes to go forward, but by learned patterns of behaviour, by learned structure to get to where I am now. And I'm so thankful for my parents doing what they did. Whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, caused me pain. But I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my choice. My choice whether I succeed. I've got no one here to tell me. I've got no one here to tell me you're doing so well, Barry. You're succeeding. You're achieving everything you set your heart to do. I've got no one telling me that, Carla, Chris, Brian, Jeffrey. This is all born out of self-belief now. And that's hard. That's a hard place to be.
Sometimes you might not have a cheerleader, but in my belief and opinion, God is always there cheering you on. It's good to have that person that you can touch to say, you was here and you gotten here. Now keep going. You can do it. That's always good to have, because I didn't always have that in my life, but sometimes that self-motivation